Hello, Jim Hodges here, Deacon here. Deacon is a 14-month-old golden came in for our residency program. I actually had the pleasure of meeting him when he was about 4 months of age in our puppy do's and don'ts program. And he did real well. His owners have done real well. He's a smart dog. He's a happy dog. He likes to meet people. He likes to do things. Probably the biggest two things that we have to deal with Deacon is he absolutely loves treats, which is a good thing, but we want him to work for us because he loves us. And of course he loves us, but he will get sidetracked by treats. The other thing is because he loves people, he'll pull on the leash. And we have to be prepared for that. So back up, when we go to treats, we still use treats. We use treats for that off-leash come command. We use treats whenever we're trying to teach him something. And we use treats sparingly when we're working with him. The reason I like to use treats sparingly, especially when we're out and about, it starts to gain that focus and keep him focused on us because he keeps looking for another treat. When we do use treats and we do give him a treat, we have to make sure that we give him our voice. We praise him and we touch him at the same time. I'm going to give you an example of this in just a few minutes and you'll get a better idea, but it's so important to create a synonymous relationship with our touch, with our words, and the treat, okay? So we do that. We look at the terms to use treats and make sure that we follow those guidelines. When he goes to meet others, because he is so treat fanatic, we can actually use treats to our advantage by keeping him and getting his attention. We would never want others to give him treats right now. There may be an occasion that we would, but he's so happy to meet people, we don't use treats to be given by others. We may use treats when he's obeying and greeting without pulling, okay? Now, he's pulling. He doesn't pull all the time. You know, he'll go out for walks and he's great. You can almost walk with him off leash right now. It's only when we get to a situation that somebody talks about how pretty he is, they want to meet, they talk excited, he gets excited. He sees his neighbor across the street, he gets excited. Well, guess what? We know those things are coming. We need to practice those, rehearse those. Rehearse those because we know he's going to pull when he gets excited, and we have to make sure we are ready and anticipate him getting ready to pull. Not after he pulls, but look for him tensing and getting ready to spring, and we'll tap that leash and tell him no, and maybe give him a command afterwards. We do that over and over and over again, and he's going to start to learn, okay? We anticipate everything he does. In training, you'll hear me say it in other videos. When a dog does something wrong or right, he's going to do it over and over again. If it's right, we put a treat to it sometimes, we put a command to it, and now he's got something added to his repertoire. If he does something wrong, we know he's going to do it wrong, and he's going to continue to do it wrong until we take the gratification out of it, okay? And we don't have to mistreat when we do provide a consequence. It's never designed to intimidate, dominate, break a spirit, or hurt him, but it is to redirect and let him see that we're the boss. But with him and meeting, consequence, the tap, and it's primarily going to be a tap back, just like we have on our Let's Go. Okay? So we're going to go through the obedience. Make sure when we do obedience, and this will help us in our greeting others and whatnot. Make sure that when he does what we want, we praise him with words and touch. Again, if we want to use a treat, fine, but he's not doing obedience for a treat. He's doing obedience because we ask. And in this case, a treat may become manna from heaven. It's tucked in my hand, we're working, he did something perfectly, then I may go give him the treat. Okay? Hey buddy, you ready? Let's go. So you heard my tone of voice. It's really important when we meet others or whenever we're walking that he's right here. Say I did see someone in front of me. I'm going to make sure that's coming up. I'm going to make sure my hand's right here so he cannot surge to go. If he starts to go, what am I going to do? I'm going to tap the leash back to me. Good boy. Just like in the regular Let's Go. If he got ahead, I would tap back. Good. The other thing on the Let's Go, and this is going to teach him focus, we walk real fast, we slow down, see how he's watching. He doesn't know I've got a treat, but he's still very obedient. Sit. Good boy. Let's go. Atta boy. So we're back to walking again. I go, he goes, he pays attention. I do want to praise him an awful lot, just like I just did. We tap in the direction we want to go. Okay, sit. Hand signal for sit, he sits. He has to hold that sit until I release him. Being a dog and how I feel about sit, we would never keep him in that sit in the command for more than 15, 30 seconds or a minute. I don't like the pressure it puts on his back end. If he didn't sit or if he got up, we would tap the leash, no, sit, okay? When we said no, sit, and then he did sit, we would come back and praise. Just wouldn't be as much as if he did it right the first time. Break. Break is my release command. You ready, buddy? Let's go. Sit. Good. See how he's holding the sit and watching me? We want to praise that as much as we can. Next is the DOWN, down. Good boy. Down is down. He lays down on the ground until we tell him to get up. If he didn't down just then, or if he popped up, that's going to be his problem, because if he sees somebody, you've got company over, you put him in a down, he's going to pop up. No. We tap the leash, no, down, and then back to good boy again. We can put him in this down and we can do whatever we want. If we want him to be there a while, we would tell him to stay, open palm. We could actually do that in a room. If we're walking out of a room, want him to stay in, we tell him to stay. If he breaks that boundary, we come and get that leash and tap him back into the room like in the let's go. No, 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 stay, okay? Down, if he got up, we would bring him back. No, 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 down. Stay if he's in a stay. If he wasn't in a stay, it'd just be the down command. When I say stay, that means I want him in that command for at least 2 minutes. When I put him in a stay, he doesn't have to hang on my every word. He can lay on his side. He can smell the ground. He can chew a bone. I'm happily content. I just want him to realize that he can pack his bags. He's going to be there for a while, okay? You ready, buddy? Let's go. Sit. Atta boy. Next command's the heel command. Heel command is really an exaggerated let's go, but we have a box. That's an imaginary box around my by my side here. See, he's a treat guy. He's a treat guy. Good boy. Imaginary box. We want him in that box. He can't read our mind. He has to watch and respond to us. The big difference between let's go and the heel command is when we stop, he sits automatically and holds it. The only other thing is it's our job to keep him in this close area, so we're going to have a short leash. Hand signals like this, heel, and we go. Atta boy. I step off. Look how he's coming right back into my box. I turn around, he wraps around, and he sits. Atta boy. Now I think I'll give him a treat. I give him a treat. Good boy. That's a good boy. So now if I'm working with him, break, out and about, and I feel like his attention may be lagging when we're out in public or we're working, perfect time is to give him a treat, because he's such a treat-driven guy that now I'm going to have his attention for a little while longer. So treats can still be good, but he's obeying because we ask him to do it, okay? Sit. So the other down command, down, atta boy. Same rules as before. If he didn't down, I'd take the leash and tap it. No, down, okay? Good boy. He'll hold that down until I break. I step back. You notice I step back? Good boy. When I step back on break, I'm subliminally teaching him to come to me at the end of every command. When your dog comes up to you, try to make it a point. See? Now that's where the treats really get crazy, see? So that's why we're not using treats all the time. That's why he's not working for treats, he's working for us. I wish I hadn't brought it out, but I wanted to show you how the treat is and what happens once he gets the treat. You know, he's one of the rare dogs that are so treat driven that he'll do just about anything for it. You ready, buddy? Let's go. All right, the other command, place. Now, Deacon goes to Wake Forest University. He is on campus just about every day. he goes to his office. Great place to have a place command is in his office. You can put there, people can come in. If I did that, as I've done with other clients, I would probably have his bed so that I'm situated between people coming into the office and whatnot, if I want him into place. Good boy. So that he's not going to get up and go running and greet somebody without coming through me first. We put him into place, he can be there for a couple of hours easy, okay? On that place, he can sit down, he can stand up, he can move around, smell things, chew a bone. I'm happy as long as he's staying on the bed and being a good boy. Great, let's go. So we've also got the load up command. I told him load up, but it's probably pretty evident this guy gets on furniture at home, because every time we've taken him out in public, every time I go near a bench or something, he's ready to hop on it, okay? If you allow him on the furniture, that's fine. I have no problems with it. What I'll typically do is so what happened there? He started pulling me on the leash, and I tapped back, okay, and told him or no. Good boy. So here we go. Load up. Hup. Attaboy. He knows how to get on things. Break. Good, good. So we've gone through a lot of the movement on leash commands. We still haven't done one other. Sit. Good boy. And that is the COME command. I would use that treat an awful lot because of how driven he is when he's out in the yard. I wouldn't just do it when there are distractions. I would start to do it without distraction. But when we're on leash, I'm going to give him hand signal. He comes, he sits. Good boy. He's in a sit when he comes to me. Break. Only until I release him. Okay? To emulate or simulate what off leash would be, he's out in the yard, and this is a guy that when I alluded to it earlier, when he sees a neighbor, he loves people, he'll take off. Well, I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, that if you start getting him outside and letting him do certain things, and you get his attention, then you'll go, hey, Deacon, come. When he commits to coming to me, I'm going to pay him off, attaboy, break, and then I can grab him. So listen to what I'm saying. We get out in the yard, we start running around with him, let him drag the leash or along the lead line, okay? All right? Good boy. Why did I tap the leash? He's looking to see if there are any treats on the ground. That's how treat crazy he is. But when we're out in the yard, get in the habit, role play. Practice him coming to you when there are no distractions. Make sure that when he's a distance from you and you call his name, don't tell him to come until he's committed to coming to you. And when he gets to you right now, the next 100 times, I would give him one of the best tasting or two of the best tasting treats you can. Praise him, love him, make a big deal. Don't just give him the treat, it's praise and touch at the same time. Then one day, have his leash on, maybe get your neighbor friend to come out into the yard and see if you can't create that association. When he sees that neighbor and you can tell he wants to go or maybe even takes a step, you call his name, step back, and show him what you got, and then when he comes, he'll come to you. Break. I think you can tell we've been practicing that here, trying to figure, no. So, if you go back, you heard me say no again, all of his mistakes that he's making in this 10-15 minute video have been because of treats. You know, treats can actually get you in trouble or get him in trouble one day because he's so mesmerized. He wants to pick them up off the ground. I would never, if I dropped a treat, I would never let him pick it up off the ground. I would correct him before we did it. And we've actually practiced this. It's a little bit harder on the driveway. Good boy. So now he learned, he looked at the treat and stopped and didn't go after it. Why? Because he knows that if he was to go after it, I would bite him. That's what I was alluding to at the beginning of the video. We practice the situations where he gives us trouble. We get willing friends to help us out, and we practice it and practice it and practice it. You know, typically Pavlovian conditioning is 40 to 50 repetitions. Do that. It's not going to take that many to stop him from going to get the treat. So if I can find the treat, I'm going to pick it up. If I wanted to give it to him, I could, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put it right back into my pocket, okay? So the come command, on leash, come. He comes, he sits, attaboy, he's there. If he doesn't come to me, I'm going to tap the leash to me. Hand signal is like this. When he comes, if he didn't sit, I would bite him in the sit. No sit, okay? Break. Off leash. I'm not going to bite him at all. When he gets to me, I'm going to love him. I'm going to do everything, pay him off in treats, and let him know how happy I am. And constantly when I'm outside, I'm going to have him coming to me. I'm going to pet him and love him. See how that treat works? The treat in this instance can be a lot of help if you will make sure that you're using words and touch at the same time. You know, if you have a situation, you know, at school with students or what have you, or any of these scenarios, I'll be happy to work with you with it, okay? This is a good guy. As I've told many people before, I think golden retrievers are God's answer to family dogs in life. They're just fantastic animals. Very rarely, I may have seen one that had a little bit of aggressive temperament in my entire 20+ years of doing dog training. He's a good guy. If you need me, you pick up the phone and call me. 336-945-3232. You can find me JimHodgesDogTraining.com. My email address, sales@JimHodgesDogTraining.com, or even on Facebook, type in Jim Hodges Dog Training. I thank you so much. I know you're going to treasure him for the next many years to come. Take care. Bye-bye.